Welcome back guys to another review, and in today's video we will be reviewing one of my top games of all time, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now this fan favourite and well anticipated action adventure video game was released for the PS4 and Xbox One in October of 2018, and later on was released for PC in November 2019. Now Red Dead Redemption 2 was developed and published by Rockstar Games, which are well known for their Grand Theft Auto video game series, and is the prequel to their 2010 game Red Dead Redemption. Now in this video we will be exploring the good and the bad from Rockstar's latest installment to the Red Dead Redemption franchise. We will also be analysing what makes this game stand out from other open world games, and we will also identify what game features and mechanics Red Dead Redemption 2 relies upon. In addition to this, we will also be critiquing the game in accordance to its flaws, as the game will inevitably have certain issues. Finally, I will also be reviewing this game according to my personal experience from a gamer's standpoint. Now before we head into the next bit of the video, I must say there may be some spoilers, so please be warned. Now Red Dead Redemption 2 is set in 1899 and takes place in a much changed yet familiar fictional representation of the American frontier from the last game. The map location in Red Dead Redemption 2 is in fact double the size of its predecessor, and this is all thanks to the rapid increase in video game hardware technological capabilities over the years, allowing developers to fit in more assets into games without compromising performance too much. In fact, Red Dead Redemption 2's map is so large that it even includes the whole map of Red Dead Redemption 1, which can only be accessed later on in the story. Red Dead Redemption 2 is set in an open world consisting of 5 American regions, with the game giving the player the freedom to explore and discover different areas of the map at their own leisure. The player can traverse the open fields, forests, swamps, and mountains in more ways than one. You can travel on foot, horseback, or by carriage to get to your destination. In addition to this, Red Dead Redemption 2 can be played through either a first-person or a third-person view, giving players a unique experience which expels neither the players who are fans of first-person or third-person games. In the brutal and harsh American Old West setting which the game takes place in, you play as Arthur Morgan and are part of the Van der Linde gang, who are outlaws on the run. With federal agents and the best bounty hunters in the nation massing on their heels, the gang must rob, steal, and fight their way across the rugged heartland of America in order to survive. As deepening internal divisions threaten to tear the gang apart, Arthur must make a choice between his own ideals and loyalty to the gang who raised him. Now Red Dead Redemption 2 excels in its open world offering to players, as they can interact with the game world in several ways, including story missions, side quests, challenges, randomized events, and hunting. An honor system returning from the previous game is also present, and this changes according to the player's actions towards non-player characters. Furthermore, the game offers fans and new players alike a new experience heading into the game, as Red Dead Redemption 2 contains new game features setting it apart from its predecessor, as new mechanics such as using a bow and arrow, dual-wielding revolvers, wading in water, and using a canoe have all been introduced. Wildlife and hunting in the game have also been improved. Now Red Dead Redemption 2 also features a more complex weather system where you can see storms forming and coming towards you from afar rather than just randomly occurring. The game features a normal day and night cycle as seen in many open world games, with the gorgeous graphics and lighting effects making the day to night transition seem jaw-dropping. Red Dead 2 comes close to kind of being a simulator game where you have to take care of your character and his equipment. Now what I mean by this is that the game introduces several features where over time your in-game character's hair and beard will grow, and you must choose whether you want your character to look rugged or neat and tidy. Now the same goes for all your weapons, as they get dirty over time and you must oil and clean them to ensure maximum effectiveness in combat when using them, as their stats decrease otherwise. Now Red Dead 2 puts great emphasis on being a story driven game, as it can take between 40 to 50 hours to complete the main storyline, with it increasing if you choose to partake in side activities and events. Therefore, if you are solely interested in Red Dead 2 for the online multiplayer aspect in the hopes that it would match that of GTA 5 online, then sadly you may be disappointed. But we will go into more details on that later on in the video. Red Dead Redemption 2 excels at being an open world adventure game, as the massive graphical overhaul in comparison to its predecessor helps you immerse yourself in this western setting. I personally enjoy just riding my horse from county to county, taking in the beautiful sights which the game offers. Now, inevitably the game looks better on the PC version, as the game strongly benefits from the beefy graphics cards available on today's market. This involves improved lighting thanks to higher quality and global illumination and ambient occlusion. PC players also benefit from improved draw distance, improving navigation and the overall game aesthetics. Now it's time to move into discussing the online mode present in Red Dead Redemption 2. Both story mode and online share the same gameplay mechanics and features, and you have the ability to choose a path for your character and develop them. This is because you can be a bounty hunter, trader, collector, or a moonshiner. The online mode also offers players the chance to chase and capture legendary bounties in return for a hefty reward and XP. You can also create your posse and invite your friends in order to complete missions together as you stride towards unlocking new ranks, which opens up more weapon options and horses for the player to buy. Red Dead 2's online mode also has a story mode incorporated. Now this is where players can do a series of missions with cutscenes just as you would in the main story. In addition to this, you also meet familiar characters from Arthur's storyline, providing players with a welcoming sight. Players can also choose to create their own character and set up their movable camp, which will basically serve as their home. The online mode also includes traditional team deathmatch and many other playlists for pure PvP action, and even includes a battle royale like mode where every player fends for themselves till the last man. Now in this part of the review, we will be moving on to the inevitably bad parts of Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, do you guys remember the point I made about not getting your hopes up in terms of expecting the online to be like GTA? Well, allow me to explain. It's been about 3 years since the release of Red Dead 2, and so far it's gotten far less updates than GTA Online ever did, and the launch of the online mode wasn't really smooth either. The servers will often crash, and on PC a mixture of GPUs and CPUs would cause the game to also crash. Sadly, although Red Dead Redemption Online has received some big and meaningful updates over the years, Rockstar just haven't been as committed to the mode as they have been for GTA Online. Furthermore, even when the updates were released for Red Dead Online, they would often be small in terms of only providing new bounties and gear for the bounty hunter role, whereas in GTA they would add new, full-blown and thrilling heists for players. Now, in addition to this, whilst Red Dead Redemption 2 overall is a masterpiece of a game, I cannot hide from the fact that the gameplay movement mechanics felt clunky from time to time. Now this is because sometimes it feels like you aren't in full control of where your character goes, but rather you are just stringing them along. Similarly, the horses in game can be a real pain, as sometimes they fall over at the smallest hurdle, causing you to lose health and stamina. Now lastly, the game itself offers certain inconveniences in terms of the core gameplay, with one being when you hunt animals and skin them. Now this is because it doesn't get automatically added to your inventory, but rather you have to physically carry it in order to sell it. Now this can be a real pain, especially in the online mode where you often get attacked by raiders, which are NPCs or other online players, and unfortunately if you die, there is a chance that your beautifully newly skinned animal can disappear. Now in addition to this, often you can find yourself left in the dark and in the middle of nowhere, as your horse sometimes doesn't spawn in when you whistle for it. Now this creates a problem, as it leaves you to traverse on foot to different areas of the map in hopes that your horse will basically come to your aid at some point. But look guys, overall I've had a wonderful experience playing Red Dead 2, as the game fully sold me on its graphical look, as well as its gripping, intense and gritty storyline portraying the end of an era for American gunslinger outlaws. Now whilst the game has its fair share of flaws, I still found myself pumping hours of game timing into Red Dead 2, and to this day is still one of my top games of all time. Finally, thank you guys for listening to this review. I tried to keep it as short and sweet as always, but let me know what you think of the game if you've played it, and also if you're on the fence, I do strongly recommend the game if you're a fan of Rockstar's games in general, or just generally open world games where they provide you a lot of freedom, as well as being an adventure game as well. So I definitely recommend the game. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video and this review, and I'll see you in the next one.